Hey everyone, I'm Elizabeth Sherman from Total Health by Elizabeth, and today I have a question from one of my followers, and so I wanted to respond to that through my Facebook Live, because I've been asking you guys for questions for my 30 days of Facebook Live, and so anyway, the question comes from, actually, I know Anna. It comes from Anna. And Anna says, I saw your Facebook Live post and I have a health question for you. Since moving to Mexico, I have lost a third of my hair, and last month my period didn't come. First ever time that this has happened. I'm 40, so I'm not menopause age yet. I'm not pregnant. We moved to Mexico in October, and we had very little money, so I only ate one meal a day. Now I eat twice a day. I am a vegetarian, but since moving to Mexico, have started to eat fish to get protein. I walk 4 to 6 kilometers a day and do self-defense twice a week. In the last month, I have lost 13 kilograms, and my weight is stable now. I also get dizzy spells, usually when I'm going from sitting to standing. I feel healthy and I'm physically in the best shape of my life, but I have a lack of energy. Could it be a lack of iron, as being a vegetarian here is difficult and there are no meat substitutes and fresh leafy greens are not as easy to come by? So this is a really fantastic question. And so, you know, there are a couple things that from this post, from this question, stuck out to me. First of all, I want to note that we actually went back and forth a couple times, me asking her some questions and her coming back with answers. So that's basically all of the information that we came back with. So what we know about Anna is that she's losing her hair. She hasn't had a cycle this month. She's lost 30 pounds in the past 9 months. And again, I know Anna and I know her body size, and for her, 30 pounds is a lot of weight. She's been getting dizzy, or she is dizzy from when she stands up to sitting down, and she has a lack of energy. And something else is, I asked her about her extremities, her hands and feet, and she does not have cold hands and feet. So initially, we could think that this might be an iron deficiency, and it very well could be an iron deficiency. And so what we've come up with for right now is that she's going to start taking some iron supplements or a multivitamin to make sure that she's covered nutritionally from that matter. But, you know, the thing that makes me think that it's not anemia is that the symptoms of anemia are general fatigue, and she has a lack of energy, also weakness. So those two things together would make me think that she wouldn't be as active and wouldn't be able to do her self-defense or the walking that she's doing if she just felt fatigued and weak. So, you know, having a lack of energy and being weak or fatigued is a little bit different. Also, she did not complain about shortness of breath. Dizziness, however, is an anemic response, and also cold hands and feet, irregular heartbeat, brittle nails, and headaches. So she didn't complain about any of those things. And so what I actually think is the cause of her hair falling out and her lack of energy is that she has gone through a lot of stress in the past 9 months. So in addition to moving to Mexico, she has also renovated a house, and that didn't actually go as planned, as smoothly as they thought that it would be. And then also through, you know, reducing her food consumption to 1 meal a day because of finances, she lost 30 pounds. So 30 pounds in that amount of time is also a huge stress. And so all of those things together are actually causing her to lose her cycle. And the cycle is actually a really good indicator of whether we are healthy or not. And what our cycle is telling us is that, we are healthy enough to carry a baby to term. And so by losing that amount of weight, our body is actually telling us, hey, I don't know that this is actually a good idea right now, which is actually really interesting because so many times women want to get down to a certain body weight. But, and I'm not saying that this is about Anna. Now I'm, kind of jumping off on a tangent here. But when we lose the amount of weight that we think is socially acceptable or how our body looks, our body isn't necessarily on board with that, because the body has its own set point for what weight feels comfortable for it. So it actually makes me think about when I first started personal training. I was working with a client, and we were talking about our cycles, and she had confessed or confided in me that when she was going through fertility, she was actually pretty lean, and at this point, she was what everyone would consider to be a little bit heavier. But she was trying to get pregnant, and she wasn't able to get pregnant. And it wasn't until she gained body fat that her cycle became regular. And so that's a real good indication of how healthy we are. And at that point, after she gained the weight that she really didn't want to gain, but she wanted to get pregnant, then she was able to get pregnant. So it's really kind of interesting here that, we have these ideas of what our body should look like, and those are all dictated by media and everyone else around us. But everyone's body is completely different in terms of how much body fat that body requires in order to function optimally. And so even if we don't want to be at that weight because we don't think that we look as good, perhaps for our health, our body is actually going to think that that's a better weight. So in any event, getting back to Anna, I do think that all of this stress, moving to Mexico, I know that moving to Mexico sounds just like you're on vacation every day, but it is very stressful. Moving to another country is stressful, and I'm going to talk about that in another Facebook Live. But so moving, getting used to another culture, getting used to everything that's going on here, then renovating a new house and all of the issues that went on with that, those are all really stressful things. And then on top of it, to have your body physically lose 30 pounds, those are all very stress related. So that, I think, is why Anna's hair is falling out. And as far as the dizziness goes, typically women will have low blood pressure, and when we stand up, if you get dizzy, that's just your blood sugar, or your blood pressure rather, regulating. So just if you have problems standing up and having and feeling dizzy, that's actually very common for a lot of women. You can choose to take iron supplementation for that, or B12. The other thing I'm going to suggest to Anna is if it doesn't rectify itself after taking the multivitamin in a few weeks, then I am going to suggest that you get a blood panel done. But anyway, so that is all for today. Happy Sunday, and Again, if you have other questions for me, I am more than happy to answer any of them. Just write them down in the comment section or send me a message if you don't want the people around you to know what it is that you're asking. And what else do I need to tell you? I am Elizabeth Sherman. I run Total Health by Elizabeth. I am a health coach, and I deal with leaning into healthier habits, those habits surrounding diet and exercise or movement, and stress management, sleep management, and of course smoking cessation. So I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, or have had a fantastic weekend, and I will see you all tomorrow.